making no money in this rap thing right now, you know? And so he like, yeah, but you got this energy, you got this voice, just try it.
Welcome back to Builder's Room. You know where the music is hot and the vibes are chill. I'm your host, Ruby. You know, like God's cooler than your baby daddy. And today we got Nene Lioness Woods. Yo, like I said, I heard a lot about you from Ralph Dillon and a couple other people.
Okay.
But this is your first time on the podcast.
Okay.
And I've never heard your story before.
Okay.
So we're going to start it off from the beginning. So where are you from?
Well, I was actually born here in Alton, Illinois.
Mhm.
But I left here when I was 6. My mother, she got remarried and to a military guy. And I've been traveling. Been like to Italy, Germany, Hawaii. I actually was in Berlin, Germany when the wall came down.
Really?
Yeah, I was there. So we got pieces of the wall. So
What was that like? And how old were you when that happened?
I was in the 8th grade when that happened.
Really?
And so that was exciting, you know, a history I didn't even think that I would be a part of. But I am, and I'm glad to tell my story about it, you know what I'm saying? So to see the Germans get freed and stuff like that, that's like, that meant everything. It's like the slaves getting free.
Yeah.
Because what they were going through, they was going through hard times too, the Germans. So therefore I got like mad respect for Germany. I really do. So yeah.
And how long were you living in there before you came back to Alton and started your music career?
Actually, I just came back here to Alton. I've been on the road for 25 years doing music.
25 years?
Yes, 25 years.
Wow. Like, so you was doing that in Germany as well? Or?
No, actually, around that time in school, I was playing basketball. I was a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing for West Germany, so I was traveling through Germany, playing basketball and being the star that I am. And doing that, and then one time, Germany, well, every year they have this big fest called the German Fest. And these big camera crews, big TV cameras. And back then, we were rocking the MC Hammer pants that sag in the middle. So me and my homegirl, Kiara, she's a lawyer now, we was doing our little hammer dance in front of the bumper cars, being cute for the guys and everything. And we just had our routine going in. So these cameras come and they just stopped directly on us the whole time the Hammer song was on. So we got through. So when we got through, they wound up giving us a card. It was like, we would like to put you all in a movie. Mind you, this is a German movie called One Fine Day. And there were no blacks in that movie at all. At all. So me and Kiara, we were the first blacks in that movie. So it's a movie called One Fine Day, and we played extras. We played 5 different scenes of extras, but it damn near felt like we was the stars because the extra scenes was so important, you know. So that was my first bit of fame for as TV wise.
So did that make you feel, being in a movie and being in that historical position, did that make you feel, I don't want to use the word, special like that and not say it like that? I mean, what was that like, being in a movie like that? What was it like?
It was actually exciting for me because as a kid, we were making like 400 marks an hour, which was $200 an hour in American money. So in the 8th grade, and we 5 days a week, that's like getting money.
Yeah.
So we at school, like we some stars. I mean, everybody treated us like stars. The principal gave us a certificate. So it was just good. It was good.
So, and then what was your transition like coming back to America?
We didn't come right back to America. Well, we went to Hawaii after that. And my mother, she didn't want to live on Schofield. She didn't want to live on the base. She wanted to live in the culture, which was really hard for us, me and my brother, Derek, because in that neighborhood, you didn't see no black people. So with that being said, we kind of got attacked like the 4th day we were there, because they had this truck called the Manapua truck. And
Manapua truck?
Manapua truck.
Okay.
And on the Manapua truck, it sells like noodles, ice cream, chips, sodas, and all that stuff right there. And so me and my brother, we go to the Manapua truck. We look up first, there's a few Hawaiians. When they come to the truck, they don't buy anything. They just stop and stare at us and standing there like, really standing there just staring at us. So me and my brother like, bro, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So we're not paying it no mind. Before we know it, some more came, but the other ones that came, they had like sticks, a bat, and they pretty much chased me and my brother home. not knowing these are the same kids that we was gonna wind up in school with.
Mm-hmm.
So to fast forward it, my next set of fame to being on stage was in that school back then. We had like you can go for president, secretary. I don't know if they do that now, but back then we had you can be president of the school, you can be secretary of the school, you can be positions as the government have now.
Right.
And in Hawaii, they had a contest to see who would be the president. And mind you, it was only 4 black kids in that whole school. Let's just say that. 4 black kids.
Okay.
And there's another historical thing that happened too, before I tell you what happened. Around that time, I was in the 5th grade. And the NASA, the very first school teacher that went up to the moon with NASA.
NASA.
Yeah, NASA.
Gotcha.
The spaceship blew up around at this time.
Oh,
So the very first teacher.
Apollo 18 was that?
The very first teacher, the very first school teacher. You can Google it. The very first school teacher.
Right.
So around that time, all of this was taking place during me running for president for the school.
Oh.
So what I did was I used that to my advantage, you know, to speak up for women, you know, and that helped me out because all the girls that didn't like me, they like, well, hey, she's speaking up for us, you know, and so I used that. And needless to say, for the contest, what I did was I was smart about it. I went around with school and I asked all the students, what would y'all like most to happen in the school? You know what I'm saying? My brother, he was well confident. He had this group. They had this rap thing going on. I wasn't rapping at the time. And my brother was well confident because he was real cute. And the Hawaiian, Filipino girls, they all liked him and everything. And so he just thought he was going to win off rep. So me, I got smart about it like a president would do. I'm going to go ask, what would y'all want better for the school? What would y'all like to see happen?
Right.
So I took down my notes. And so when it was time for the final draft, it was we had to do a contest. Now my brother and them rap, they rehearsed and they did everything they need to do. They had the little dancers, his little homeboys. Me, I got up there and named everything that somebody said that they wanted to do. And needless to say, I became president of the school.
You was more in touch to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. More in touch
Yeah,
to the
so
kids
I
and
became
whatnot.
president of the school at that time.
So how, when did that transition to you being into this traveling musician?
Oh, okay. Well, we went back to Germany. Came back. We went to Kansas. No music there. Then about when I was like, I started doing music when I was like 23.
23? Okay.
And this was in like 1992.
1992?
Not 1992. I was 18, 1992. When I was 23, I started doing music.
Okay.
Going on 24.
Okay.
So when I started doing music, my friend Gaddafi, he, back then, I don't know if you heard of this, but they had a music generator that you plug in. It was a PlayStation. But there was a game, no, not a game, whatever you want to call it, but you make beats on it. And Gaddafi knew how to make beats really bad. You know what I'm saying? He was badass with the beats. But can I curse?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was badass with the beats. So he said one day, he said, man, come over to my studio. I got this hot beat, and at this time I'm hustling. So I'm like, bruh, you're not making no money in this rap thing right now, you know? And so he like, yeah, but you got this energy, you got this voice, just try it. So needless to say, he convinced me to come over there and try it. He says, well, I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, I need you to get in the booth and say whatever first thing come to your mind. And I said, whatever come to my mind? He said, whatever come to your mind. And it was hot as hell in Texas at this time, and it was hot as hell in his house, and it was hot as hell in that booth. So the first thing came out of my mouth was, get hot, get hot, get hot, get hot, hot, get hot, get hot. And then he like, yo, I'm keeping that. So needless to say, that song made it to 92.3 FM in Killeen Station, the main radio station, for 3 years.
Back to back, huh?
Yes.
Oh, wow. You was out just hustling and flowing out here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
maybe that's who you was talking about, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so.
Do you have any questions, Anthony?
Yeah, I do. So what were some artists that you looked up to, which potentially helped develop your music style?
Well, you said who inspired me, who I looked up to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I liked it, DMX. I liked, ooh, I was hustling. I wasn't looking up to nobody.
Well, what was your favorite hustlers? You got any? You got?
One of my favorite songs was Pocket Full of Stones.
Pocket Full of Stones. That was your
Yeah.
favorite song?
Yeah,
Why was that your favorite song?
because I was hustling at the time. I was hustling at the time, and that's why I got a pocket full of stones. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing, and I had my gin and juice, and I would be banging Snoop Dogg in them at the time, because that's when he came out with gin and juice. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was listening to as I grew up. But when I transitioned to the rap game, I really, dang. Let me see. Ludacris. I liked China White. Oh yeah, okay. My favorite, Da Brat.
Oh, you
I
like
looked
the
up to
Brat,
Da
huh?
Brat. Yeah, Da Brat was my favorite. She still is my favorite female.
Now you
rapper.
said that you was a hustler and you was hustling and whatnot.
Right.
Now, did you ever go to jail or get any sent to jail?
I did. I went to jail for driving without license 2 times. Now the first time I went that bad boy, they let me out about 3 days. Second time I went that bad for driving without license, I was in that bad boy for about 60 days.
60 days?
Yes.
And was you a kid? Like, how old were you?
No, hell no, I wasn't no kid.
Okay. And she's like, it was yesterday.
Hell no. Now I was young.
Okay.
I was like, let me see. The first time I went to jail, I was like 18 years old for terroristic threat. My friend, she winds up getting into a fight, and the girl tells me, I think that's my phone. If it comes down, decline it.
No, stop it.
Yeah,
No.
decline it. My homegirl gets into a fight, and she tells the girl, hey, I'm gonna kill you, right? And so the girl goes to the police station and tells the police station that I said I was going to kill her. Now this when I found out about terroristic threat.
Okay.
I ain't know nothing about terroristic threat. I thought terroristic threat was you get a bomb and that's what you do. No, it's a law called terrorist threat. You can't tell nobody you will kill them or anything like that because that's terrorist threat. So anyway, they come lock me up for 24 hours. The judge told me, I said, I ain't never been to jail, judge. And I didn't say it. Now, I wasn't going to tell on my girl because it's cold of the streets. You ain't telling, you know. And I didn't think I was going to go to jail for something I didn't do, but I wasn't going to tell on her. And so he said, well, since you didn't know what it was, you ain't never been to jail, your record is clean. We're not just staying there for 24 hours, though. We're going to put you on probation, non-supervised. What the hell is probation? I started feeling like slavery days all over again because I couldn't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that was my first part of jail. And then when you move up, on up to my 20s, I went to jail for driving without license twice. And then, yeah, the hustling game. Now, listen, I went to jail for dope, but it wasn't on me. And what happened was, and this is a lesson learned, so y'all need to pay attention to this right here. If you ever have an apartment and you move out of your apartment,
right,
and you do not take your name off that lease when you move out, whatever takes place in that apartment is gonna be put on you. It's on you. So I went to jail for driving without license. At this time, I'm getting ready to go sign with Lil Flip. I was supposed to be signed with Lil Flip Friday morning, 10 o'clock. I goes to jail driving without license. So like I said, I'm in there about 60 days. I get out. I lost my deal with flipping them because I had no way of contacting them for 60 days. So that was out the door. I lost that deal. Then when I get out, I wind up getting some dope so I can get a crib. Because at this time, I'm like, damn, I come back to this apartment. It's all windows broken out of it and all this old stuff here. I got to do something. So, damn, let me cop a job real quick. Boom, 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 cop the job. Went and got some work and stuff like that. And I was waiting on the dope man. Now, mind you, I had got a security officer job. So I had on a security suit. So I didn't cash my check, and the police, about 1,000 police at the little gas station right there. I'm in there cashing a check, talking to the police. They're like, oh, what's up? Yeah, I should have been calling one of y'all. I'm just talking so I can. On my way up to the apartment complex, I'm sitting there waiting on the dope man. Goddamn, before the dope man could come, Jump Out Boys jumped out.
Jump
Everywhere. This is in Austin.
Hold on, we're gonna. I don't want to. Yeah.
That's daddy. This is serious.
Hey.
You can't make this shit up.
So you said Jump Out Boys jumped out on you.
Yeah, the Jump Out Boys jump out on us. I'm sitting there with my check, right? Me and my dude at the time, and I'm like, I'm not running because I ain't got no dope. And then in Texas, they use Burger King cups. You know what I'm saying? So like they dripping soda. I didn't use shit because I ain't have nothing.
Right.
So the goddamn police jump out, youngsters running everywhere. I'm like, I'm not running. I just got finished seeing these same police. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad the dope man did come. You know what I'm talking about? So the policeman said, he goes in the side apartment. You know how they make the side apartments the dope spot.
Uh-huh.
So the two, a white cop and a black cop, go in there, and he said, who live in here? I should have never opened my mouth and said, I used to live in here.
You said that?
Yes, I said I used to live here, but I haven't been here. So with that being said, they go in there and they find an old bill with a piece of fake dope, because a lot of them was taking bread and doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so the white cop comes out and he's like, yeah, you know, we found this by your name. And the black cop goes, nah, we can't take her to jail for that. It's an old bill, and that's dope right there. It's fake. So the white cop, he kind of got mad. So he tells me to stand up, and he pulls down my pants in front of like 10 police. So I'm in the front, in a circle in front of 10 police as they pull down my pants, like discrimination all the way. So anyway, they wound up taking me to jail because my name was still on that apartment thing or whatever.
Right.
So while I'm in there, the doggone lawyer, he was a fresh lawyer, young. He's like, oh, you gonna beat this? I'm like, yeah, because I ain't no dope. I'm good. Man, I don't know if it was God sent me down because I was moving too fast and I had so much going on and I was just getting money and just doing all kind of stuff, you know, young and reckless. I just felt like at that time, God just said, even though you wasn't in that house and even though you didn't have no dope on you at that time, you had dope runners and you had dope and you was still doing shit and you wasn't listening to me. So I'm about to sit you down. So that kind of crushed my career for like 9 months. For like 9 months, my career went, you know, for us on the urban hip hop side. But when I went to jail, I started doing gospel. So I started a little gospel group in there. Started doing gospel rap. The jailers, they start putting, the police officers started putting money on my books for me. Like I lost everything. You know, when you making a lot of money, you got all kind of, you got everybody in your corner, everybody riding with you, everybody, yeah. Cause you know, you got money, you looking out for your homeboys, your homegirls. Most of them ain't really got money, you trying to put them on, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And it just didn't, you know, when you go to jail, you lose everybody. You lose everybody. So, you know, needs to say in there, God used me in there, so did my 9 months, got back out, jumped back in the music business.
And you've been grinding ever since.
Ever since.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. We got another question, Anthony?
Have you been writing your own music?
I do. I write all of my music and I write for others as well.
Okay. What inspires you as far as you writing your own music?
What inspires me to write? Or what motivates me?
Yeah.
What motivates me to write is when I look at everything I've been through and where I came from and what I overcame. To me, I just got to keep writing because I told God and myself that I wouldn't go back to that life. And so in order not to go back to that life, I got to keep pushing with my talents and my gifts. So I just stay writing,
I got you. So, when you go to when you perform at gigs and everything, I'm sorry, I don't. Sorry. So when you perform at gigs and everything, has there been a time that you didn't get paid?
Hell yeah, and I still need my money. Definitely. I mean, I'm Oh man, okay. Now, honestly, as an artist, when you're in the business and you're starting out, you're gonna do a lot of free shows. Ain't no way around it. Nobody's gonna pay you just because you got a hot song. Just because you think your song is hot, don't mean everybody else feel it's hot. And the artists, they come in and they want to get paid off rip. I did a lot of free shows. I did a lot of promotional tours, and I put myself on tours. So there was times I didn't get paid, and there was times where people tried to get over me. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of them chicks. If I ride, I got my goons with me, so we're gonna get that bread back now. We're gonna get it back with a smile, definitely. Definitely.
I got you. So do you think are you more of a I'm sorry. Do you think you're more of a social media influencer that stays relevant in this
Yes, I've
time?
been relevant for 25 years, from MySpace when it was no space to MySpace, all the way to where we at right now. It's definitely something I enjoy doing because I'm a creative person. And anytime I get the chance to create more or something different or something, new, I just keep going with it. So yeah, I'm every year I'm creating and developing a new me so that I can stay relevant.
Okay, you got a TikTok page?
I do.
So what's the TikTok so everybody can follow you? What's your
My
TikTok?
TikTok is Nene Lioness.
Okay. Instagram?
Nene Lioness.
All right.
Facebook,
Yeah,
Lioness Woods.
yeah, I was yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah.
I
So
got you. So, during the pandemic, because I know that we're kind of getting over the pandemic and whatnot.
okay.
But while we were in the pandemic, did you perform
I
as
did.
far
I
as
put a
in
tour on
concerts
called
and
the
stuff?
Twisted Tour.
Okay, how'd that go?
It went well actually. I'm just gonna say when you destined for greatness, you destined for greatness. It went well for me because I didn't think that when I got ready to put the tour on and I reached out to the artists, that people that I didn't know, all I did was put a big blast out there, and artists was willing to pay to open up for me. So shout out to LeVar Hayes out of Baltimore. He's a celebrity promoter. He connected me with a lot of different venues in different states, and the artists were willing to pay to come get on the show to open up for me. Now, mind you, the pandemic kind of helped some people out because traveling then was cheaper, like
Yeah,
way
yeah.
cheaper, because nobody wanted to go nowhere. But my thinking is, while y'all asses in a house getting fat as hell and arguing and fighting, I'm out here on these streets grinding. So whoever's riding with me, we ride, and
Right,
we did that for 2 years. Yes, the Twisted Tour.
right.
Yes. And if you all want to see that, any of those footages, go on my Nene Lioness page and you can see
Okay,
a lot of that going on.
Okay,
okay, okay. Now,
definitely.
were
But
you were you feeling kind of anxious, or did you have some type of anxiety as far as like being out with different people because of everything that was going on with the virus and stuff?
Man, hell no. And let me tell you something. Black people, they should have never felt threatened because, first of all they know we got to drink that dark liquor and we okay. I didn't feel no type of threat. If you saw President Trump not wearing a mask, that should have told the whole world something right then and there. I was not worried about it. I had my trust in God. I had my grind mode on, and I wasn't gonna let nobody or no virus stop me from being the artist that I'm working on to be.
mm,
I feel you with that.
Definitely.
I feel you. I feel you. So have you ever compared yourself to other artists? Your
I don't
own.
I don't compare myself, but I've been compared to people such as, they'll say Lil Kim, they'll say Trina, they'll say Missy Elliott, they'll say the Brat, and then like when I sing, sometimes they'll say like like Keisha Cole or what's the baby or with the deep voice, Tony Braxton, because I have a deep, like when I sing or whatever, it's not really high. So yeah, those women right there.
Okay. Okay. So how did you get your first break within the industry?
My first break came through, like I said, when Gaddafi made that track for me. Um, we wound up getting on the radio with David Jordan and Sharon. Which Sharon has a club in Atlanta, Georgia. She's doing still really well from the radio and stuff. The radio station booked me with Trina. And so what had happened was they also gave me an interview with her. So I was able to go do an interview with her, and I was her main opening act. So it was just her and I doing this show. And I mean, it was a lot of people there. This one, she was really hot. You know, when they came out back then, when they was like blazing, her and Trick Daddy. You know what I'm saying? It was blazing hot. I got a chance to open up for her, and then when I opened up for her, that my performance went well, but her performance didn't go well.
So you kind of stole the spotlight.
Yeah, I did steal the spotlight because for one, that was my city, and for two, if you're gonna treat somebody bad when they're like looking up to you and you treat them bad, God don't like that. And so at the radio station, when I got introduced to her, she grabbed my hand like this. Instead of shaking my hand, she did some of the like some of the
Oh wow.
And at this time, I said, "Well, this is my city, so God, we already know what time it is." I smiled. I was still happy to see it because you Trina. You know what I'm saying? This is big for me. I'm looking up to you, you know? And so she acted kind of ugly. And I'll tell her again to her face because I knew I'm going to see her because I'm going to Miami. And
You're not condoning violence on this channel.
I'm going to tell her how she made me feel as an artist who looked up to her. It's not gonna be like no violence with her. I don't want no violence with her.
I'm making sure.
I want her to know, like, look, I really looked up to you at that time, and I felt like you could have handled that introduction a little better than what you did. But needless to say, karma don't discriminate against no one. So when she got performing, her CD kept scripting. It's messing up, and she goes, hold up, I feel like it's some type of discrepancy going on up in here. You know what I'm saying? But I just really felt like the universe was just trying to show her, stop trying to act like you above because you a star at this time. Because this young lady is somebody. If she wasn't, she would not be at this radio station with you and opening up with you. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? We wouldn't be on the same stage if I wasn't someone.
Right.
You know? And so from there, I went to open up for Ray J. Ray J, Brandy's brother, Ray J was next. Opened up for Ray J, and back then, this when he had them little, he was real skinny, he had them little dancers back then. And Ray J was really, really cool. He was humble, he was cool, he was sweet, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he was just all that and then some. And then opened up for Lil O, Lil Flip and them, UGK, 2 Live Crew, 8 Ball MGG, Crime Mob, Franchise Boys, BG, Alicia Myers, which is, we're going to go to the old school section now in Detroit, Michigan. Alicia Myers, the Contenders, the Dramatics. I did a radio interview with them as well because I took second place for the Black Essence Fest in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She said the Dramatics.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that was a lot of work you put out there, huh?
I mean, I have my resume as big as Texas. I'm not even gonna lie.
I see that. When she said MGK and 8 Ball, 8 Ball, and then she dropped the Dramatics. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still tripping over the Dramatics right now. My grandma should be watching this, and she would definitely.
I mean, but you know what? I'm sitting there with them in the radio station, and they're just so calm, and I'm just at ease because my whole career, from day one, it's been walking in star footsteps. My whole career. You don't find too many artists that really probably don't got their numbers up and can put a tour together, and people paying to open up for you, or people coming to your shows and you the headliner, and your numbers ain't even up on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Right. But there was a highlight of my life when I moved to Houston, Texas. Shout out to Billy Cook, superstar Billy Cook.
Shout out Billy Cooks.
Billy Cook is the R&B superstar of Houston, Texas. Any rapper or any singer that ever came out, the Kiki, Fat Pat, Slim Thug, Paul Walker, me, all them, he's on all they stuff. And we went to Hawaii. He opened up for the Isley Brothers. And I was able to be on stage with him, but I was dancing for him. I wasn't rapping, but I was dancing. So we opened up for Ronald Isley in the arena in Hawaii. So that was a big highlight. I met Mike Tyson. Now I gotta tell y'all the incident with Mike Tyson real quick.
Okay.
If you got
Go ahead.
Mike Tyson, at this time, he's in the tabloids. I guess he got problems with females or whatever. And so we in the Sheraton Moana Surfwater Hotel, which is a tourist hotel in Hawaii. And you got Janet Jackson there, and you got Ronald Isley and them in there, and Mike Tyson comes in. At this time, I'm probably like, where that TV at? And Tyson's like right here coming through the door, so I got my camera. And I go, oh, Mike Tyson. And I got to put my camera up, and his big-ass bodyguard said, hey, put that camera away before I come smash it. In front of everybody. His voice was so deep. I'm like, okay, shit. Okay. So Mike Tyson goes, hey, come here, though. Come here. I was like, so I go over there, and he says, look, I'm not trying to be mean, but I know you see me in the tabloids and all this stuff going on. He's like, but I can give you an autograph. So he gave me a hug and an autograph. And I thought that was really nice of him, because he still could have been like, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and I hope I get a chance to see him again, because I want to remind him of this.
You might see this video.
Well, Mike Tyson, if you see this video, I would love to be on your show, because I remind you of this incident we had. And I just want to say, you know, he was humble with it. He could have been a straight ass, but he wasn't.
Right.
And so with that being said, let's move forward. Ronald Isley, lead keyboardist, Tony.
Right.
How I got started doing music in Houston was because the lead keyboardist, Tony, Ronald Isley, brother, he called to Pat Rodriguez, which is a heavy hitter in Houston, Texas, Track House. And at that time, he was in the studio with Dr. Dre, and he called Ronald Isley, the keyboardist, Tony, called Patrick, and said, yo, it's this young lady. She's in Houston. She just moved there. And, you know, because I got a chance, when we got through performing, I got a chance to sit with him and just rap for him.
Right.
Not for Ronald Isley, but for Tony and them. Because Ronald was cool. He met everybody, spoke, and said what he had to say, but he went on about his business. But the band, they still kicked it with us. And so me and Tony, we talking. And he was like, well, let me hear you rap. And I flow. He was like, okay, you dope. And so he called P-Rod. And then he was like, well, I'm moving to Houston in a year. Wait a minute. The year just started. You mean next year? He was like, yeah. I'm like, damn. Mind you, he gave me his phone number. I never knew what it looked like, because we didn't have phones.
Right.
We couldn't FaceTime nobody.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, a whole year? But a whole year passed. At this time, I done started blowing up. I got my PT Cruiser wrap with my face on it. This when the PT Cruisers first came out. I got a wrap with my face on it. I got my girls with me. We put up to the liquor store. This is a divine order. This how you know it's a divine order. I put up to the liquor store. There was a guy getting in a Hummer. He was getting ready to get in his Hummer, but mind you, we was getting out of the car of mine. He was getting ready to get in his, and he looked, and he said, wait a minute. He said, who is this? Who is this right here? Who is little lady? Because at the time I was little lady. I said, I'm little lady. He said, little lady. I heard that name from somewhere before. He was like, was you in Hawaii with? Yeah, it was Tony. I said, yeah. He said, I'm P-Rod. I said, oh my God. And that was a year later. And so he's big responsible for a lot of the music that I have. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Man, that was
Nice.
like the journey thus far is just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off or anything like that before we slide out of here. Do you have any shout outs or any last remarks for anybody?
I do. I want to give a shout out to my star daughter Anaya. She's doing very well. If for y'all that's not familiar with her, she's on IG as Anaya Love Note. She just opened up for Gucci Man, Big Boogie, Kevin Gates. She has a song with Too Short. Their video is getting ready to drop. So like I said, she's my A-lister star daughter. Go on her page, IG Anaya Love No. So shout out to her and the rest of my children. Shout out to Ruby. Thank you for coming. I just did an interview in Goldie's room. You know where the music is hot and the vibe is chill. Fleet DJ Nene Lioness. Thanks for watching.
Thanks again. This is a great opportunity. Thank you. I can't wait to come out and do this again.
Yo,
Yo, this is our
nice
co-host,
meeting
you know,
you.
Anthony Henderson.
Anthony.
You know, yo, this is the first episode
And my
working
guy
together.
here.
Yo,
I need a
this is
picture.
Aaron.
Can we get a picture?
Yeah, we get a picture. How you gonna do it? How you
Okay,
gonna do
we're
it?
gonna stand in front of my.
Cause I'm blam. I live in top of hip hop. This is hip hop of today. I give props to hip hop, so hip hop parade.